Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob in front of the Great Wall of Comics. And with me, as always, my friend in the Great White North, Chris the Comic Vet. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Rob. How are you?
Well, I'm much better now that the power has been restored to my home. Been without power since 7:30 this morning, and it has come on in the last 10 to 15 minutes, just in time for Slab Hub because the power company wants to watch Slab Hub too.
Interesting.
And why not? Because we have a guest as always, our guest this week, Rich from Ohana Comics.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for letting me join you guys.
Welcome.
See, I'm telling you, Chris, you need comics behind you. It's how people know you're a comic guy.
Well, we just got to get him a green screen. That's all. Then he can put whatever.
Well, he's got a white screen. He could actually, I could send him a picture of my wall, and he could just have it as a virtual background behind him. It would
Right.
work. Just,
It
But he
never
couldn't use a white
ends.
screen,
It never
otherwise part
ends.
of his chest would disappear
Yeah.
with the Motorhead shirt.
well, actually, yeah. Well, who knows? Anyways, everybody, thanks for coming and joining us. Let's Crucius. How you doing, brother? Happy to have you with us as always. Shop for Comics, guys. Shop for Comics got his mystery box going right now. He's only got 7 boxes. They're $45. I think it's like up to 17 books potentially inside there. And he's guaranteeing like a $75 value. Go check if you know. Open up another browser window. Don't leave here. I don't know what you were thinking, but go check out Shop for Comics on IG. Check out his mystery box. $45. Great mystery box. I've already claimed mine, so now you can go claim yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And which one did you claim?
I'm sorry. I'm going to pick one up right as soon as the show is done.
That's right. Chop and Drop. How you doing? Comic Addicts. Yes, he's been winning some prizes from us, so I'm sure he's here to go. So yes, already smash that like button. Absolutely. Paul, the king of Slab Hub with the most appearances, Sector 2815. How you doing? Thanks for coming on out. James Willie, going to get you back on those winning ways. I feel it. I feel it's coming your way, my friend. War Machine Punisher, Comics and Collectibles. Thank you. Thank you. Nos Feast. Wait, did I miss something? Time to see some Pokemon. Yeah, okay. The closest thing we might get a Stitch. And I know Stitch is not a Squirtle, so it does. So
he's a Disney character.
This is a Stitch.
There you go.
He's a Disney character.
Hold on.
He's not Japanese.
There you go. Try it again. I can.
That's a Stitch. Right
there you go.
That's cool.
Very cool.
I wanted to talk to you for 30 years. Didn't know what to get, and I finally said, "Let me get Stitch."
Mad Spidey, yes, we're happy to have you here. I don't know if you're really our friendly neighborhood Mad Spidey or not. I mean, you're kind of in a different continent.
Oh, he's very friendly.
Yeah, no, he's friendly. I don't know if he's in my neighborhood though. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, his
own
different
continent.
Well, maybe he's mad because he's not in your neighborhood.
Could be, or mad that I'm not in his neighborhood. Well, anyways, as long as he's on a different continent, not incontinent, that's all that matters. Let's move on. Cole's Comic Claims. How you doing? Gary B, the casual comic guy. Yes,
Gary.
Okay, and Two Brothers Comics is here. Hey, how you doing? Along with Cat Fan Comic Man. Oh God! All right, Chep 3 Comics. Nice to see some new people in the thread there. Guys, welcome to Slab Hub. Every week we do this show. Chris and I get together. We have a guest come on and invite them to share with us some of the slabs from their collection. It doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest bangers that they've got, although nobody objects if they are, but also just to tell us some stories and show us some of the comics that mean something special to them that caused them to go ahead and encapsulate that thing forever. Along the way, if you have any questions in the audience about a book that's shown or just about grading in general, please, by all means, throw it up there. We are happy to talk to you and answer questions about comic book grading. Between the three of us, we've utilized all the companies, and if we don't know an answer, we just say we don't know the answer and steer you where you can get it, at least, maybe. But anyways, without further ado, I want to make sure we get Rich up on here and we get started on this shindig here. And I apologize because I've been without power. I will probably be muted and eating a little bit throughout this. But let's take a look and see what did you first before we get started with your books. So tell us a little bit about Ohana Comics. The name, how did it come to be? What's your shows, your channel about? Why should people be sure that they go over to your YouTube channel and give you a subscription as well as a follow on IG, which, by the way, guys, all you have to do is you can see it ticking across the bottom there is search for Ohana Comics. Also, his link should be down below if you're watching this on the replay.
Thank you very much. That is one heck of an intro, and I wasn't ready for that. Ohana Comics is something I started a little over a year ago, and as far as the YouTube channel, and my whole purpose was just to build a community to talk about comic books, to have fun, and there's no monetizing in this. And you and I both talked about this before the show. That's not our goal. Okay, we're not trying to. We're just trying to build a community of people where we all get to know each other. We can especially, hey, learn from your mistakes. I posted videos of me frying my own videos, of my own comic books in the comic book press. And everything that I do wrong, I make a video of it so somebody else can learn from that mistake. And
Terrific.
If I destroy a comic book which costs $100, but I can stop 10 other people from making the same mistake, it's worth it. That's the way I look at it, because Ohana, and that's where did I come up with Ohana? I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan. Ohana means family. I believe in trying to build a comic book family. That's about the best I can give you as far as
that's good. I wasn't sure if it was because you were from Hawaii at some point or whatever, but
no, and I was very surprised to see that there was no claim to Ohana Comics as far as a domain name. So I tried to grab that, and I haven't built it yet, but I have claimed it. There is Ohana Comics Convention in San Diego, but they did not claim Ohana Comics. So I just quickly moved on that and felt very good about it. So it's pretty much it. And whether I change my mind in the future, I'm stuck with the name.
It's all good.
But I'm not upset with it, so I'm happy with it.
No, I like it, and that's why I'm like, I didn't talk because I didn't ask you about that before I made the title card, and I went and did the whole comics make us family thing. But so but I thought that was, I said, I know it goes well together, so we'll see. And so basically, it was kind of that whole type of thing. We're a family together, but via comics.
And I saw the picture that you chose, and I thought that was cute. I think that was from the final of my top 50 comics. And I didn't realize when I took the picture, my hair was a mess. I mean, it's never really great, but it was really bad that day.
Chris and I have that problem all the time.
I know. I hate when that happens. I do. Like I call into work. Like I can't function when I don't have a good hair day. So I thoroughly understand where you're coming from.
Oh, when my wife has one hair out of place and she's fussing, I'm like, oh, just shut up. I'm just glad I stopped that.
All right.
My hairline was peaked in my 20s.
Yeah. I don't even know if I ever had it because I had, aside from disco pictures in the 70s, I was flat top throughout the 80s until I went into the military school, had a high and tight, and then started shaving my head when I was in radio. For the people watching here, as we get going here, I want to let you guys know that, of course, halfway through the way, we're going to stop. We're going to do some giveaway from the prize pools, some chances to win not only free comics, but also a chance to possibly win some merch. We got the Rob Vatstack's Slab Hub mug is written on the back of some of these backing boards. You'll get a chance to win one of those potentially. And at the end of the show, we'll be doing another giveaway plus from the slab box, plus, or not slab box, the prize box, pull box, plus Rich has come on and said that he wants to give away a prize as well. So he'll be doing that at the end of the show as well, too. So we got lots of prize today. All you do is have to be here in the live stream when we do the hashtags. So without further ado, let it get it to.
Okay. So I tried to pay very close attention to what you were telling me about making sure that it doesn't necessarily have to be bangers, but books that have a story, because that's what really comics is about. And I believe that myself. That's why I was so anxious to come on the show, because I think that you and I have a lot of the same feelings. So let me talk about the very first book I ever bought, Slab. Which
it's kind of funny how comic books are a story, huh?
Well, I don't understand why people have such a big
Double
deal
entendre.
about saying, oh, well, you're putting books in slabs because you want to make it a monetary investment. If you had a really nice picture, wouldn't you want to put it in a picture frame?
Thank you,
And if you want, and if the picture frame costs you $20, and
sir.
you just
The
want to
defense
present it that
rests.
way,
The defense rests. Very good. Thank you.
come on. If I really decide I want it out, I can get a screwdriver and pop the sucker open. Leave me alone. You know,
Right.
my money. I'll do
And
what I want.
if it's a special picture, why do people invest in UV coated glass? Like, let's be honest. So yeah, I'm 100% on board.
I mean, they could always scan it and put it on and reprint it up again later if it gets faded. No, they just want to present it a certain way. That's the way they like it. Leave them alone. So if you're slabbing it to flip it, that's your decision. If you're slabbing it because you just want to slab it, that's your decision. Guys, they're your comic books. Do what you want with them. It's what makes you happy. That's the bottom line. Okay, so but getting back to where I started. Very first comic book I ever got, slabbed. Now, I had been into comic books a lot as a kid, had thousands of comics. I'm not going to discuss what happened to that collection. And I got out of it for a long time, got married, divorced, remarried, and then COVID hit and I had free time. So I decided to get back into comics. My first show that I went to, I was submitting books for CBCS. Actually, it was supposed to be CGC, but they called out because COVID was starting to get bad. That gives you your time frame. And I'm walking around and I had never heard of Scotty Young. I didn't know anything. And I saw a Scotty Young Slabs book of Spider-Man. And it just freaked me out. I'm like, oh my God, it's a little baby Spider-Man. It's so cute. And a 7.5 with a completely destroyed corner. The guy was, I'm sure, ecstatic that he got rid of it. I think he wanted $30 for it just to cover the cost of slabbing. And I'm like, this is cool. I want it. I still have it to this day. I'll never get rid of it. It's my first slab book. It's totally worthless. I don't care. To me, it's priceless.
Right.
So,
Well,
I mean, if that's not an example of why books are slabbed, there you go.
It presents well, though. Like,
oh yeah, well, until you get really close and go, oh yeah, that's what happens. It's like somebody took the book and went bonk. But I didn't care. I saw the book, freaked out, and I had to have it. So that
I really
was
enjoy
my
Young's
very
work
first
on the
ever
white
purchased
background.
slab book while I was waiting for my books from CBCS.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Not
Scotty
an
Young's
uncommon
great.
book. It just I hadn't seen it
No.
before. I'd been
Yeah.
out of the hobby for a long period of time. I had a lot of catching up to do. This one is not the exact book, but I had to buy this book to get even with my grandmother who is passed. It's X-Men number 165 in a 9.8 white page. Now, I had heat stroke, blisters on my back and everything else. I'd been out in the sun way too long, and I blacked out from dehydration. I woke up out and before I dehydrated, I was reading this issue, not necessarily this comic. And when I came to hours later, I could smell dinner. I was a kid. I walked in and everybody was, are you okay? Are you okay? I came from a family that, don't take them to the hospital. We can fix them. And my grandmother had poured a bucket of water over me to cool me down and try to rehydrate me. My only concern was, where's the comic? It got destroyed. It was totally waterlogged. So for decades. I mean, it was the new issue when it first came out. So you can look it up and say this happened in 1983. For decades, you destroyed my comic. I saved your life. You destroyed my comic. I saved your life. So,
I was wondering where this story was going because it's not often a story starts off with, I needed to get this. This is here so I could get even with my grandmother.
No, I had to go and buy the comic book so I could look up and say, I've got the 9.8 now. We're good.
That could be the best story on Slab Hub yet.
I've gotten friends have given me raw copies going, here's a copy. I'm like, no, I have to get a 9.8 to make it all even. Again, is it worth it? No, to me, it's priceless. And that's, So another thing that I used to do is I used to sell baseball cards, and I had too big to call it a safe. It was practically a vault. It had bolts in each direction. And I sold most of my cards, and I still had this safe for 10 years, and I forgot the combination. I had no idea what was in there. I took it to work. I work in a machine shop. We spent days with drills and plasma cutters and everything, looking like, Geraldo Rivera trying to get into Al Capone's safe.
And there was nothing in there.
Because kids, for those of you at home that are young, this was a thing on TV that captivated the nation. Back when Geraldo Rivera was a daytime talk show host and not a conservative weirdo.
I liked him in the beginning. Anyway,
Yeah. I can remember when he did the expose on Satan and that back in the day too. But yeah.
oh yeah, God, yeah. If you think that reality shows and everything are new, no, that we've had them for a while. But we finally get this dang door open, and there's one comic sitting in there. I couldn't remember. There was one comic, and I kept it in my collection. And this was Spider-Man number 328. I bought this directly when it first came out, so this is kind of a heritage Ohana. But this I bought originally, and it
yeah.
still came back as a 9.2, which surprised me that you went through all of that with torches and everything. And
Awesome.
Yeah. No,
I remember reading this
classic
right up the
cover.
newsstand.
Yeah,
Classic
that's a great
cover.
McFarlane book.
Yeah. I was very disappointed. I was glad this was here, but I was very disappointed that everything else was completely empty. Are you familiar with the channel The Boy Who Had Seven?
Can't say that I am.
No.
He still has stuff from time to time, but he's for the most part is not active on YouTube anymore. But he was the first person that I subscribed to. And when he became more active in his personal life, he had to shut down his channel. So he had a 2-hour saying goodbye to everybody. And he had thousands of followers, very popular person a few years ago. And that again, that hit home because that was the first person I had ever subscribed to when I joined YouTube. During his last stream, he had a couple of giveaways, and I won the last giveaway on his last show, which again is not much. As far as it's not the original, this is a reprint.
Right.
I'm not okay, but it's still a great book to have. A 9.8 Tales of Suspense. Was that 47?
No, we
39.
love facsimiles on this channel.
Oh yeah,
I have a box full of facsimiles because sometimes they're the closest thing you're ever going to get to that book. It's a great way to read it, and be pretty honest, they've started to take some value to them.
So you see yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you were tuned in, but he asked what were his top 3 favorite characters, and I was the first person to answer it correctly because I had watched him enough that I knew it was Spider-Man, Batman, and Ghost Rider in that order. So when I got it and I received it, I had the following year top 25 comic books. I actually included this in my top 25 because this one meant still does mean a lot to me. It's not all about the value; it's about if your house was on fire, what would you grab as you were going out? So,
Yep.
I would just burn down with it. Wouldn't be able to get everything out in time.
Forget your clothes. I gotta grab all these slabs in the car.
Yeah.
well, there's a couple of slabs at the end that I would grab first, especially since a couple of them belong to my wife. She's like, "What do you mean? Go back in there." So there was a friend of mine that passed away earlier this year. Shane Hester from Battlegrounds, also known as Rough Edges. I don't know if anybody has ever interacted with him, but him and his friend Dustin used to do a weekly sale on Facebook, and I got to be friends with them. I've done shows with them. Great people, great hearts. And I really felt bad when Shane passed away. And one of the first books I ever bought from his show, he said what grade it was going to be. I sent it in for grading, came back, he nailed it. It was NYX number 4, which I love this. This was the first book I ever got from my friend Shane. And consequently, right before he passed, this was the last, which I got in a trade.
Very nice.
So, books that will never, ever, these are going in my casket with me, guys. I don't care what the value ever becomes on these. Because they're linked to a friend of mine, somebody that touched my heart. And he touched my heart through comics. Ohana, that's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Awesome.
So now the fun part is trying to get your spouse involved in this. So this way you can justify the spending. So my wife is not into Marvel at all. She really doesn't care. She thinks Ghost Rider looks cool, but doesn't really know. It's like, oh, Johnny Blaze, that's his name? Okay, yeah. So what I had to do was pick her characters and start getting her invested into it. and I got her an older Chippendale. It's a file copy, and this is a 1961 in a 9.6 white page. White page or off white? Off white to white. I'm
Beautiful
sorry.
book. Beautiful book.
Chippendale
Awesome.
are her favorite Disney characters. And I'd love to ask your opinion on this. File copies. Where do you and everybody else, where do you guys stand on that? If you see a 9.6 and it says file copy, do you consider that less valuable, more valuable, or the same?
I think book is a book. I mean, I just like personally, I don't see I know certain people who pay extra for a pedigree copy. I don't see any extra value in that book just because it was part of one person's collection versus another's.
Unless you knew that person personally, I don't see. I
Maybe, but
agree with you.
but generally that's not the thing, right?
Yeah,
You have the concept being that this was part of this one giant collection. Okay, now you own a piece of it. I don't care. That book is still that book at that grade, the same as if it came out of Chris's house. That one shouldn't be any more valuable, in my personal opinion. So when it
right.
comes to file copies, yeah, same type of thing. And Cole's asking, what even is a file copy? That's a
Okay.
very good question.
File copy is when this company, when Dell printed this copy, okay, they kept one or two copies for themselves and put it into a file cabinet. So this way they could refer back to it if they needed to. Were they duplicating the same story? Did they use this artist's work before? It's their own in-house retained copies for reference only. Now, sometimes copies get pulled out a lot and they get really messed up. You'll get a file copy that's a 3.0 because they opened it and checked a lot of times. This particular issue, they didn't. So it sat in a file cabinet, did not get exposed to the sun for X amount of years, and then got graded as a 9.6. How CGC even knows it is a file copy, though, that I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because I bought this Joe Palooka book.
Oh, nice.
So this is from 1946. This was
That's
listed
nice.
as a file copy. There's no notation on it that it's a file copy. See,
Yeah.
but
I love the blue one, though. That blue really pops
Yeah.
on that book. Great
exactly.
choice with the CBCS because the label really works with the same blue.
Yeah. My opinion on file copies are they're hella cool. Like cool if you can get your hands on one, but I always question the authenticity of it. Like, is it if you're buying it directly from someone who worked at Dell, then okay, that kind of thing. I know that it gets passed on and CGC tries to do their due diligence. To me, are they worth a little bit more to that certain person that if they're into file copies, God bless them. To me, it's neither here nor there. I've seen a handful of them in my time. They're special, but it's to me it's a distinct flavor that certain collectors would have to be into, like what Rob said, like a certain pedigree from a massive collector or a certain family kind of thing. But to me, if I was just working on something for the PC and a particular pedigree or a file copy was that much more money versus the one I was looking at, that I would probably skip over the file copy unless I was able to obtain it in a trade or something that way.
Well, there's some people that, of course, also value it as less. They say it doesn't deserve the grade it got because it's been whatever. I don't care. So the answer there was yes. Rich did show the book that he passed out.
But
it was,
Disney books.
They were asking it. They just showed up. It was asking if you'd shown the one you got graded when you passed out.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a story I talk about quite often on my channel. I'm sorry. Yeah, good to see you. So my biggest thing was some people consider them to be less valuable. All right, well, if that's the case, then I could crack open a slab and resubmit it, and it should get the same 9.6, and you'd never know.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how they know that's a file copy necessarily, unless there's some other kind of indicator on it that they're looking at. But
maybe there's a stamp on the inside. I don't know. I'm not going to open up my wife's book to find out.
Right.
So, and this book I use as an example on my own channel because this is a great one to remember that when you're buying books, take a step back and make sure if you miss a book, you miss a book. Okay. There's billions of comic books out there. You're not going to get every single key and every single great deal. So I wanted to pick up a copy of Black Panther #1 and a 7.0. Well, it was the auction on eBay was for a 7.0, and I liked it. And at the end, I got into a little bit of a bidding war on this one. And I'm okay because the amount that I paid is still less than what it's worth now, but still. When the auction ended, I was the winner. And the seller immediately contacted me. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that I was able to sell the book to you. I'll get this book out tomorrow. He was happier than normal. And I went and I checked, and there were 8.0s with a buy it now less than I just paid for the 7.0.
I think we've all been there.
So that's what I was talking about with you prior to the show, that if I make a mistake and it costs me extra money, so be it. That's what this channel is kind of dedicated to, that I can actually make a video saying, hey guys, I just made this mistake. Don't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
So
Quick hello to next week's guest, Man Cave Comics. How you doing? Thanks for coming.
yes, I'm glad I'm not following you.
We're looking forward to your appearance.
Sector, I watched your show. I'm like, actually, most of the people, I'm like, I don't want to follow these people. I'm the person that people want to follow.
It's not a competition.
No.
Otherwise,
True, but it's still, they got some really nice books. Okay, and I have some.
everybody collects different, and
stories,
it's not about. It's about what's important to you, right? Collect what you want. That's what I always say.
Rich, before you show that book, can you tell me who
Sure.
the creative team on that Black Panther 1 was? I know Kirby did the cover. I'm
Yeah.
just curious if he handled the
Yeah, I'm trying
interiors
to
or the
remember,
story as
'cause
well.
I used to own
Yeah.
that one.
I'm putting
Again,
my
it's one of those characters
Bubble.
everyone has a lot of respect for. So I'm just curious who handled the creative team for the first issue.
Kirby story, Kirby and Mike Royer cover and art.
Okay. Yeah. So Kirby was all over it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Awesome.
see if I can get that any closer at all.
Yeah, no, I used to have a copy of that it was one of those ones like in my early days of picking up slabs where I was just crawling eBay looking for deals and with the last minute deals, and managed to pick up a 9.4 for like $80 and had it for about a year and a half, and then when the Black Panther movie came out, I dropped it like it was hot.
Well, see, now that always seems to be my problem. Is I buy books saying when this comes out, I'm going to flip it.
I
never
usually
follow
don't.
the book. I keep having
Guilty.
Yeah, no,
Guilty.
I barely move any books, but
Yeah.
for once in a while, every once in a while I do. And when that was one of those ones, I don't have any necessarily partialness to the character, so it's not like it's his first appearance, so
No.
I can let it go.
Well, I don't know about you, but I can't afford the first appearance. So
Yeah, well,
which
I
is-
could if I just
and
got
that's
rid of
a
my
great,
kids.
great run. If you look at
Anybody
that whole
wanna
run
buy
of
some
Fantastic
kids?
Fours, that whole run of Fantastic Fours is just amazing.
Now I got to finish my Amazing Spider-Man run first. That's expensive.
Which
Tell me
what
about it.
run are you?
All of it
shooting
working the first 100.
for? Ooh.
I'm down to just the really expensive books.
I was in a communication with somebody that was saying that they were picking up an ASM, one of the first 50, and they said this is actually the only book in the first 50 that's not a key. And I said, doesn't that make it a key?
There's a couple
There's
in the first 50
that aren't keys.
yeah,
Yeah, but
but
If the first
Few and
50
far
books,
between.
every one is a key issue and one is not a key, that's
almost.
then that
You
theoretically
almost
is
like
a key.
it's a sub 50 ASM that makes it a key. Period.
Yeah.
yeah.
At this point in time,
Mhm.
it kills you when you're sitting there like you go look at something like a Daredevil that has been out at basically around the same time, and you
Mhm.
know that you could buy the first 50 Daredevil for less than like a 1.8 first appearance of Mysterio.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Anyways, we're
Yeah.
distracting from your show and
No,
your
no,
slabs.
no. These are great things.
These
to
are the
talk about,
pains we
so,
all feel. Yep.
so,
All right.
one of the CGC submissions the first CGC submission, that I actually had done, I learned what pebbling was. It's a condition that if you don't have a very perfectly smooth surface when you press the book, whatever imperfect surface you have will be pressed into the cover.
Yes.
I think I submitted 15 books and was hoping for about 10 9.8s. I got one. And the one book I got was
I remember that video, I think.
Star Wars Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
And
That's
my
an incentive.
wife, Mrs. Ohana, who wants to remain anonymous. She saw it. She was like, "Ooh!" I went, "Yeah, you want it?" She said, "Yeah, I like this." I'm like, "Okay, makes you happy." It's the retailer incentive of
Yeah.
the Star Wars Bounty Hunters #1.
Yeah, so the 1 in 25, as I recall.
And I think I got that one right off the shelf, which was good. I paid incentive price for it, but it wasn't like I scanned for it. But she was happy, which kind of helped me spend more money on comics, which is good. Happy wife, happy comic collection. That's the new phrase. Another one of the books that I got here, and I went to Battlegrounds. It's okay. They're too well together. I went to Battlegrounds, which was, as I said before, my friend Shane and Dustin's actual store, which is in Calhoun, Georgia. They had a book up on the wall that they thought was a 9.0. And I looked at it and said, I bet I could clean and press this now that I'm starting to understand what pressing is and get a better grade. So I purchased it, and I was right. And I was actually able to get a 9.6 on my Moonbro Endeavor Dinosaur.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I do have a lot of pressing nightmares. One I'll talk about later. This book, I immediately had the slab. Have you ever bought a book and forgot you bought it?
Yes.
Sadly.
Yes.
That man down there, he sat there, he had a sub 10 ASM in his mailbox for over a year and couldn't remember which book it was.
Right. So
yes.
Just quick backstory, man. I'm in Canada. I have a U.S. postal box just on the other side of the border in Niagara Falls, New York. Okay. And I couldn't remember for the life of me. I'm working on Spider-Man 1 through 50, and I'm down to one key, and I think I'm down to 4 or 5 books to finish my run.
Nice.
And I couldn't remember for the life of me whether I had ASM 2 or ASM 3 at my postal box. And the thing is, there was a couple times I actually went back into my eBay history, looked at what I bought, but just couldn't remember it for the life of me. So in the end, I know what I'm going to pass away from. In the end, it's going to be a slow, drawn out death where I remember nothing. But yeah, in the end, I got it now. It was, the first appearance of Dr. Octopus, but still. I couldn't remember what it was, and it just ate at Rob. How can you not remember which book is there? Like, well, COVID shut the border down for like 18 months, so I couldn't remember what it was. But anyways, we're all guilty of not remembering what books we bought.
And the border is shut down again, if I'm not mistaken.
It's difficult now. They want a full PCR test in and out, and that's a couple $100. Biggie, the one I'm missing is the first Mysterio.
Wow.
That's it.
Hey, that was a deal today on IG. You get a 1.8.
Yeah.
I had joked at my wife at how much it cost.
What were they asking?
$750.
Oh, that's good.
But anyways.
Yeah, okay, that's a good showstopper. Okay. Well, I had been on a Facebook. I'm in a number of different groups on Facebook, and there was one that they were doing a auction where you bid per in the chat underneath each one. I threw in a starter bid. I didn't think it was. What was that?
That's the same. He's just saying that. Yeah, forgetting a book is one thing, but forgetting whether you had a 2 or a 3 ASM.
Yeah, I found it a little hard to breathe when he said that.
My life has been a roller coaster, but yeah, it's true.
But you know what? That's a cool situation to be in. Either way, you're a winner.
Yeah.
Then he ended up going to C2E2 and picking up the other book anyways.
Yeah, but did I buy the ASM 2 or the ASM 447? There's where you're gonna worry.
Yeah.
But
anyways, book you forgot.
That's okay. I went to Facebook auction, and I threw in a starter bid on a book, and I never bothered checking back or anything else. And about a week later, somebody sends me a message. Please remit payment to such. I'm like, who is this? What is this? The Nigerian prince asking me to open up the bank account for? What is this? And I say, what are you talking about? And he says the auction. I'm like, wait, I won. And the book came in, and I was very shocked at the condition. I submitted it for grading, and it was a 9.6 white page Spider-Man 316.
Nice,
awesome.
And when
one of the hottest books during COVID. Yeah.
What? I got this for how much? I think I don't like to talk about prices, but on this one, I think I paid $30 for it.
Oh,
And this is literally 5 months ago. So I
what?
was, yeah.
Congratulations.
That's
Wow.
why when I'm like, I want
Yeah.
it. Okay, I'm gonna pay PayPal friends and family because this has got to be a scam. There's no way this is real. Came in less than a week later. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Okay,
Nice.
this is the equivalent of finding like something at a garage sale to me. So
Yeah, it really is, and that's great. I mean, that's some of those
this is the
advantages.
only one that I have in my entire collection that fits this bill. So it's not like I have a lot of them, guys. Sliding over, creating room. I don't know what the official count is on this one right now. Oh, I see the next book. We're getting to a story soon. But the Dark Knights Death Metal #7, if you're familiar with that one, with the Wonder Woman and the Yara. This was I think it's 1 in 50 or 1 in 100 black and white.
Yes, 1 in 50, I believe it was. And it killed me. I think I had like 2 copies of that I ended up just giving away before I realized what it was.
There's very, very few 9.8s on the census. I think there's, last time I checked, I think 23, and that's it.
All black is tough.
Yeah. So when I first got this, I think it was the 7th one graded. So I'm like, there's only 10 in the planets. I'm holding it. And now there's 23. I'm still like, okay, I'm still holding it. I was one of the first 10. I'm putting it that way.
Nice.
But yeah, this one I purchased from, it was one of the last books I purchased from a store before I found a better store. I think the one that I was going to was definitely overcharging. I don't like when somebody puts a cover B, which might look nicer on New Comic Book Day, immediately jacks up the price to $15. It's not an incentive; it's just a cover B.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why I was very glad to get out of that place and find who I go to is Syndicate Comics in Marietta, Georgia. A little shout out to them. I'm sorry.
Syndicate Comics for all your comic needs in Georgia.
They're really good guys.
And then we can send them a bill. Chris, make sure we send them a bill now for that. That
Yes.
Yeah. When I do my New Comic Book Day,
Free bundle, please.
Comic shirt. So do you remember I said before that I had my learning experiences with pressing?
Yes.
Pebbling.
So I had 2 copies of the book I'm about to show. And I bought a t-shirt press, which is the same as a comic press. And if you're buying a press, that's the way to look it up because it's much cheaper. But spend the extra $25 and go to Home Depot and buy a temperature gun. You know, the one that reads the temperature, like what everybody's using on your forehead these days. And I found out that mine was 60 degrees off. Now, if you're pressing a t-shirt and it's off by 60 degrees, it's not a problem. But if you are pressing a Vengeance...
Oh boy.
and you are 60 degrees too hot, you turn it into a solid piece of cardboard. I melted my first copy. Yeah, this was the second one, which I was still dialing in the temperatures, and I was peeling the pages like, oh my God, please help me. Trying to separate them with a razor blade. And I actually got back a 9.4 white page. I saved the book that much. The first book was just throw it in the garbage. It was, you can turn it into a cardboard picture frame, and that's about it. But
still,
man.
a 9.4 is an incredibly respectable grade for a book that is just skyrocketed in value. Like that, a 9.8 is like out of the wheelhouse for a lot of collectors nowadays. So 9.4, that's respectable.
That's the first America Chavez. Is that what that is?
Or, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was trying to remember. I don't. Newsbreak. I don't own that slab. I don't own them all. Imagine that.
Yeah. That's the cover for me is just incredible. As a Magneto fan, I love that cover.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they didn't sell more of this when it first came out.
Yeah. But yeah.
Shop says he's started putting some parchment sheets between pages to stop that from happening.
Each page? That's a lot of sheets, but you
can reuse them.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Hey, you buy parchment paper you buy by the roll in the cooking section for next to nothing. So I mean, if it helps protect a book.
I got one more here, and then
Or
I
actually,
guess
they even have they sell them actually in individual sheets for like wrapping sandwiches and stuff. Because I have a bunch of them at the usually when I go to like Smart and Final and stuff. So you don't even have to do any cutting.
I bake a lot of cookies, and I used to get the parchment paper that was already pre-cut the
Rolls, yeah.
size of the cookie trays. Every store has been sold out. Thank you, COVID.
Mostly, I just use pink butcher paper, but that's because I'm wrapping meat and throwing it on the smoker.
Gotcha. The another book that I did get, and I bought it as a raw because I wanted to get it. I remember purchasing reading this when I was a kid, and I got one. It looked good. I pressed it, cleaned it, sent it in for grading. Was the jump rope issue?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was Remy Q.
Yeah, I saw that a few times last week.
I love this book. This book is like just so. I finally had to get rid of my copy just because I had a 9.8, and it started selling for $800. I had to say, all right, if some idiot wants to pay $800 for this book, I'm selling it, and I did for $800. But
I buy
that
it.
that book is just so hilarious because it's just so in your face on so many different levels.
Well, that's what Byrne was doing at that time. He was just trying to make fun of the over sexualization of comic books at that time, and the whole run was really good. I remember reading that again when I was a kid, but I had this out as a show, and a couple of people asked about it. Nobody bought it, and I'm glad nobody bought it because it didn't dawn on me till later on. This is a newsstand, and this particular book in a newsstand in a high grade is really hard to find.
Yep.
So this immediately got transferred to PC once hey, you're never going to get this again.
You know what else is almost impossible to find is a yellow label on that. Byrne doesn't do signatures.
Oh, for Byrne. I was going to say, I'm sure somebody signed it. But
Byrne wrote it. He did the art. He did the cover. Byrne is basically the entire creative team on that book.
Yeah.
If you look it up. And it's like, I want to have this one signed. And I started doing research to try to get my copy signed. And I'm never going to get the sign. He doesn't do that. Well, all right, well.
How old is Byrne now?
Early 70s, I thought. He does make appearances in Toronto where I am, but they're not CGC events, whatever. So there is signed Byrne stuff out there, especially in the area where I am. Yeah, but you'd have to submit it to CBCS to get authenticated if you want to go that route. But fun fact about She-Hulk, he did have full creative control on that. When he assumed full creative control on the Fantastic Four and he moved the thing out, he brought the She-Hulk in because he enjoyed the character so much. So that's why She-Hulk was in the FF in the mid-80s.
She-Hulk is such an underrated character and a misused character, I think, in the 80s. And I'm really looking forward to the show, to bringing it to a new audience and seeing where we can go with it.
Agreed.
Let's see. I guess I have two more and then we'll take a break.
Sounds good.
Okay. John's Comics with Kids. Do you know that show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Once in a while they do a sale, and on Saturday mornings, I believe, instead of the John's Comics with Kids, or maybe it's a Saturday, John's Comics with Kids does a show once in a while, at some point. And he had a stack of random Invincible Iron Mans, which I purchased. I think it was $25 for the lot. When number one came in, when they came in, number one looked beautiful to me, and it was a 9.8er when I sent it in.
Nice.
And I actually called him. Well, texted him. I don't have his personal number, and said, I feel really, really bad about this because I bought this, and are you sure? Are we okay with this? And he said he was just more than happy that I got a 9.8 with it, So he held no animosity or jealousy or anything. He's a really great guy. Slab.
No, I just cracked my 9.8 out to send it in for Michael Bendis signing. Don't worry. Don't get alarmed. It was a PGX 9.8. So cracking it was easy. Send it off to CGC, get it signed for the Bendis signing.
Yeah. Now, when you send it in for signing, do you send it in a bagged and boarded with a cutout in the bag for the sign? Somebody recommended that to me after I had a book ruined, but What's your method for doing that?
Oh, it's really simple. You take a bag and a board, and you put the book in, and then you put tape around the area you want the signature to be, giving plenty of room, knowing that these guys can be big sometimes and what they're doing. And then take the book out. Very important step. Take the book out before you take a hobby knife, and then trim along the inside of the tape marks to remove that piece of the plastic bag. Then you can put the book back in, put some extra boards in there, usually at least 3, maybe 4 if you can, because you want it to be not floppy, because they tend to be rough with them sometimes.
Right.
And then what I generally do is then I'll take that and put that inside of a bigger bag and just then close it up. So that way, while it's transported, that part of the comic is not exposed, but they can easily just open it up and pull it out and it's ready to go.
See, the reason I asked this is, again, to share the information with the community so that they all learn from it. I sent in a Something is Killing the Children to the Frizzen signing, the #1 Frizzen, and it came back a 9.4, and I'm like, this was not a 9.4 when I sent it in. So it's because I just sent it and said, here, sign. And
well, maybe it goes with other things too. But usually the bag in most of the places, whether you're sending it to CGC, CBCS, or whether you're sending it through a facilitator, if you're doing a send-in signing, they're typically going to ask that you have it bagged and boarded, window bagged. There are some that are pre-made that you can buy, but the advantage of doing it yourself is that you can really
pick where
placement. You have more control over the placement on that. No, absolutely. I do have a video in my list of videos somewhere that has on my playlist of my information playlist on an example of doing a window bag and board.
Well, I will make it my mission to find that and make sure that I include the link on one of my upcoming videos, so somebody else can watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to talk about it. I'm a king of sending in books.
That is
Which, by the way, guys, don't forget, also down below in the information below is my link tree that has a link to the various upcoming signing events. So there's the signing events that are going on at not only CGC, CBCS, but also some of the facilitators that I use that they have. There's a list of something like right now for the spring, because the cons are coming up, something like over 50 different signing opportunities coming up, some big hitters. So if you're interested in doing sending any books in for signings, take a look at that link tree after the show. Find that video. I keep that up to date for you guys, along with hyperlinks to the facilitator or the signing information.
Great info.
All right. Let's check out one more book, and then let's give some books away.
So we talked before about America Chavez. And
yes,
are you familiar with the America series that came out in 2017?
Yeah.
Sadly, I kicked my ass because I had a 1 in 50 incentive number 1, and I gave it away because I didn't know what it was.
Did you know? Did you know also there's a second print on this?
No.
The regular first print, America, is written in red, white, and blue. The second print, it's all gold. Nice. And high grades on this is actually very hard to find as well. I was so hoping for a 9.8 on this, but I only got a 9.6. But that's still fine. It's absolutely perfect with me. I have a 9.8 in the first print, but I'd take the 9.6 on the second print any day. Cool. It's a great cover though, too. You know.
Absolutely. I like the way that, looking over the sunglasses type things. Very cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it back to you then, sir.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and pop this up here. Oops. Let me gather. We're going to go hashtag Stitch is greater than Squirtle. Go ahead and. What's the matter, Chris?
Here's Rob still showing his PTSD from Tyler's appearance on SlabHub.
Enter that there. We're going to go ahead and do some pulls out of the box here in just a second. In the meantime, while we're waiting for people to go ahead and get their entries in on that, Rich, what do you got coming up in the next week on your channel?
Well, I always do my new comic book day, and I'm trying to make sure that I get. I'm going to be showing up a couple of books, videos on books that I'm going to be submitting to CBCS and just CGC, not CBCS anytime soon. I've got a Silver Age submission and a regular submission coming up. But I also have a friend of mine that is a voiceover actor. She does an amazing Stitch as well as other characters. And I'm trying to set up in her studio recording of a video so she can demonstrate her abilities, which she's great. I mean, I can't even have the words for talking about how good she is at it. I'd like to try to branch out, and I'm always looking for ideas of things that people want me to talk about. If there's stuff you want me to talk less or more about, this is, just let me know.
Brilliant. Awesome. Chris, how about yourself? Anything coming up this weekend?
Well, tonight I'll be joining Rob on Karate Kevin's channel, and we'll be doing that fun show that he does where we show off some books that are very important to us and talking about them. Why am I blanking out on the name of that show? Anyway,
what's that comic?
What's that comic? Yes.
What's that comic? Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'll be releasing Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks, a show where Mark from Legion of Comics and myself give one hot pick each for this upcoming New Comic Book Day. In fact, Mark's already sent in his submission, and I'll be putting that together at some point today for releasing tomorrow. Just to let everyone know, I'm currently 13 subscribers away from 600. And by the way, Richard, congratulations. I saw that you just rolled over 600 subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
Once I roll over 600 subscribers, I'll be setting a live date to give away a bunch of prizes, including 3 CGCs and a bunch of different packs. There'll be other stuff that get done. And Wednesday it'll be New Comic Book Day Hangouts, in which it's an open invitation to anyone to join the panel to show off whatever comic books they picked up for that New Comic Book Day. I will be back in the driver's seat. So again, Rob, thanks for handling the duties last Wednesday. But that's it. Rob, yourself?
Oh, I'm not going to talk about what I got coming up
Let's give away
this
some
week.
prizes.
Just so we'll go and get this back on track for these folks. I will say though that I am only, I think, like 5 subscribers away from 700. At which point I'll do a 750 subscriber giveaway when we get there. I hadn't really thought about it much, but I did just get an extra. Oh, I can't talk about it. That book hadn't come in yet. I didn't release that video yet. Well, I got a book, a double signed hot commodity book that I have an extra of that I might give away. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Here we have 22 entries in here for that hashtag Stitch greater than Squirtle. We're going to, of course, shipping is included, US and Canada on this. International beyond Canada, we'll talk and we'll work something out. Let's go ahead and hit this and spin it. Ready? Here we go. Wheel of Fish. And our winner is Cole's Comic Claims. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations to you. It's time to get you some comics. We are going to go ahead and hit you up with the 6-book pull from the box. Rich, so the way we do this here is you're going to be pulling for Cole here. And you can tell me a number from the front, a number from the back, or because it's SlabHub, we can give it some front to back action.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Don't. No, this is SlabHub. I made the channel's name is an innuendo into itself.
All right, then fine. Again, give it a reach around and go for number 5.
Got it. From the front or the back?
Both. From the back. If it's a reach around, it's from the back.
Well, you don't know. And 5. All right. 5th book from the back, we have Supergirl number 1. Look at that. From the Reign of Tomorrow. That is some cool. 90-licious hair.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations. That's book number 1. All right. 5 from the front now?
Sure.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. Oh. I don't know. Do I want to give this book away?
Taylor Winder's special.
That's right. Look at that. I'm trying to remember who the cover artist is on this one off the top of my head. I don't recall.
I'm sure.
I know this was an store exclusive for somebody. But congratulations, Punchline number 1. All right. How you want to do that? What's next?
Try to get as close to the center as you can.
Right here. Ish. Okay. Gotta get myself a slab hun. All right, here we go. X-Men number 11,
Very cool.
Virgin variant.
Very cool.
Colossus doing some iron work now. Okay. How about some back to front action?
Number 13 from the front.
13 from the front. You're doing a Chris on me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We have Avengers. What do we have? Avengers annual, looks like, because it says November 96, number 1.
Is that life? It sure is. We got some Liefeld goodness there. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right. 2 more.
7 from the back.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 17.
And then
That
7
looks like
from the opposite.
Myers' work. Mm-hmm.
Not listed on the list of creators on the front cover, always. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, one last book. I'll just get some rando here, and you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
G.I. Joe number 69,
Awesome.
Destro's gold helmet.
Couldn't finish it up without a 69. There you go.
Well done.
Somebody's
Well
got to
done.
finish it up with 69.
But is
Congratulations,
69 the
Coles.
finisher?
Coles, I don't know if I've sent you anything off the top of my head before or not. So if you don't mind hitting me up on Instagram and either A, just saying, yep, you have sent me stuff before, look up same address as before, or send me your shipping address information and I'll get those books out to you. Of course, you remain eligible for winning later on the ending giveaway, either of the 2 giveaways we have at the end of the show. All right, let's get back into some slabbing action. Hot slabbing action.
So I'm going to try
You
to
do some heroin there?
Oh, just dry skin,
He's rolling
man.
up his
It's
sleeve.
winter
I
time.
thought you were rolling up your sleeve like it's like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
need a
really dry in Canada.
That's really
Fair enough.
strange. It's almost Doctor Strange.
Yes.
yes.
Number
Well done.
169.
Well done.
And this is another one of the ones that I got from my friend's Facebook auction a long time ago from Shane. And he predicted this to be about a 6.0. And again, he was always dead on with his grading. It's an off-white to white, and I got this in a raw, and this is actually just skyrocketed since I got it. But this presents so much nicer than a 6. It's never going to go anywhere. And so many of the books not only become dear to your heart, but they become memories. That first show that I went to, where I got that Spider-Man, the first book I showed, they did have a CGC submission there, and it was supposed to be CGC. They canceled. CBCS was the only one that was left over. I didn't realize there was any difference between the 2. Again, new being back in comics, I submitted a bunch of raws that I was speculating on, and while the book was out, Chadwick Boseman passed away, and that's when Black Panther number 2 shot up, and it came back as a 9.8. So I was very, very lucky in that, and I don't like the fact that I can actually make money on the fact that because somebody passed away. So as a result, I will never sell this book. When I pass away, I'm sure my wife will, but that's a separate matter.
That's her eternal soul that must deal with it.
Right. You know what? It's part of my life insurance to her. Whatever. That's fine. When I did submit the CBCS that day, and I've got a lot of complaints about them. They do some stuff right. They do some stuff wrong. That first submission, I paid for pressing and cleaning on each book. It was checked off on the receipt and everything. They did not clean and press the books. They just graded them and sent them back, and then refunded me the money for pressing and cleaning. One of the books that I sent was Ultimate Fallout number 4. Sorry,
Nice.
4. And the reason I'm covering the grade is when it came back as a 7.5 white page. and it looked like it almost had a subscription crease down the middle, which I know it didn't have beforehand. So I
polybag crease.
Polybag crease.
The polybag crease. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it before it went in. Again, I was new with comics. Maybe I just didn't know what I was looking for.
Oh, the majority of them have it.
Yeah.
So it really ticked me off that they didn't do the pressing and cleaning that I wanted. So I sent it to CGC, paid for pressing and cleaning and grading, and waited the year for it to come back. And it came back as a 9.2. So that was quite a bump as far as a grade with me. And I was extremely excited when this came back and nervous as my wife was showing me, because I'm looking, this is my last chance. I've been trying to get this straightened out for a year and a half now. If it comes back a 5, I'm going to accept it as a 5. And of course, she had to pull the label part way and show me 9. I'm like, the fact that it's a 9 something, I'm happy.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. When I started understanding what I was doing wrong with grading, and I was sorry, with pressing and cleaning before I sent in for grading and got it under control, I got a really good submission of books, cleaned and pressed. And the one that came back that thrilled me the most was Invincible Iron Man number 9.
Nice.
First full appearance of Riri.
Awesome.
And this is the one that really just took my breath away when my wife was pulling it out. I think I shouted out, "I am Batman! I am Batman!"
I am vengeance. I am the night.
I finally got one right. It was more to the point that I finally pressed the comic book without melting it and got it the grade that I was shooting for. I consider myself to be a jinx. I predict 9.6s, and the 9.8 is the grade that shall not be named. So if you're
like a no-hitter, man, we just don't talk about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when it happens, it happens. So it's like, this is a book that's under a lot of scrutiny. The Kanan number 6.
Yeah.
And CGC doesn't make any acknowledgement about it being the first full appearance, or anything else. They call the first appearance of Kanan and Ezra, Sabine, all in issue number 1. And a lot of people say that's a cameo, and this is the first full appearance, a lot like Hulk 180 and 181. I have an issue number 1 as well, but that came back a 9.6. It was the 9.8 that made me really happy. So this is another one.
It's got to be number 1. He's in whether he's younger or not, he's in number 1.
Well, what are your feelings on Hulk 180/181?
Well, no, I know the other characters. I understand they're they're at the end of the book, but Kanan, is in the first book. He's going to be first full appearance is in issue 1. I mean, they didn't wait 6 times. They weren't like pulling a Disney and pulling Boba Fett and having the main character disappear for half the run.
It finally comes back in, but he's mute.
Right. Yeah. No. The others. I understand. I agree that you don't see them until the last panel. If you removed my theory on first appearance is cameo is a first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you delineate it to first appearance in cameo versus a first full appearance, if you want to break that down, my general rule of thumb has been, can you remove that if the character's on there for 1 page, and if you can remove that page from the book and it does not materially change the story, then it's a cameo.
That's a good way of looking at it. I like that.
And if it does completely alter the story, then it was a full appearance. So I sadly have to argue that Hell Risen number 3 is not really a first full appearance of Punchline.
No,
even though
that's a really
CGC
good way of looking
recognizes
at it.
that, right?
I like that.
So that's just me, and everybody can have these arguments all day long. But the reality is, a cameo is a first appearance. It is an appearance.
I think the only time it would change would be like the first cameo appearance of like Mary Jane, when you see a foot.
You don't where you see a part of them, and it's not
or dark side on the
Venom.
monitor.
Yeah,
dark side on the monitor.
You see,
Exactly.
the section, but that's a really good way of saying it. If it doesn't change the story whatsoever, if you took them out, then it's truly a cameo. And I like that philosophy. That's really good. Another one of the books that I did submit, and I had gotten some really great books.
Spideys, don't start that conversation.
We'll be here all day.
It's okay to start the conversation as long as you respect both points of view.
Right.
As soon as you start saying you're wrong, I'm right, that's where it gets out of hand.
It's subjective, right? But you
Yeah.
have to. An appearance is an appearance, and that's that you can't argue. It's like, are they in
Right.
the book? Then it's an appearance. It's just whether or not the delineation between a cameo and a full appearance has any monetary value. Well, that depends upon you, the collector, and the person who's trying to buy it from you, or you trying to buy it from somebody else.
The that very first submission that I made to CBCS, I did have some really good books in there that I did not know were going to turn out to be as good as they were. One was, at the time, the book was selling for $50 as a near mint raw, and I found somebody that would not come lower than 60. He was guaranteeing a 9.8. He was right, and it is an Heir to the Empire, #1.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And I wish it was a newsstand, but it's not.
Who cares?
And the only argument you're really going to get on this one, as far as appearances, is George Lucas saying, first appearance of Mary Jade, that Luke was not married. He's very adamant on that one.
No, I missed out on most of those Dark Horse Star Wars books.
Oh, and they're great storylines back then too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got a couple others that are out for grading, and the Star Wars Tales. There's a few characters that I think may show up in the future. I think it's number 21 and 25, and they have alternate covers as well. Really tough to get. I'm hoping on my grades on that, but if I get back a 6.0, I'm still going to keep it.
Yep.
Secret Invasion we know is coming, but there is a 1 in 25 or 1 in 25 and a 1 in 10 retailer variant editions as well. And
Wow.
this one actually sells for the same price in a 9.8 as the regular.
I'm sorry, that cover.
Yeah! I have got to make one of those.
That cover is so great. Oh my god, that the way that Secret Invasion is written and everything else, it's like late 50s, early 60s sci-fi horror monster movie stuff. That is beautiful. Oh, it screams to me.
So, I mean, and you can find these for about the same price as the regular version of 9.8. And I think that they look better. They're a better investment, and I had to go and grab one.
Yeah. Give it a few months. That won't be that way anymore. The book is about to take off.
And when it does, I'm not selling. I still like my books. Okay, and this one shows how much of a worldly idiot I am. I waited for about 8 months for this to come in. This was from Frankie's. It is the sketch signed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got the remark on yours.
And well, here's the thing: is not only did I get the sketch on it, but I saw when this came in, I was so excited. I was freaking out, and I saw the writing here in Japanese, and I'm like, "Oh my god, she wrote something special!" And I'm freaking out. And then I translated it. That's her name.
Yeah,
that's
she signed it.
She signs it in kanji. Yeah, that's all.
I'm like, I can't wait for this video to end so I can check it out. The next video, I'm like, it's her name. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the remark on mine. I'm jealous. That's
well, I paid I had to do it. It was one of those ones that I happened to work some overtime that week and I had the money for it.
Right.
But
that's
just
terrific.
how much of an idiot I made of myself on the video when I unboxed it. I had to keep this book forever. Okay, so this book was actually an upgrade. I traded an ASM 361 in a 9.6 and a Daredevil #9 in a 9.4 to get a different book, which I overtraded at that time, but the first two I traded have gone down and the one I got has gone up. So in the long run, I'm fine. But at least I was able to not only get back, but upgrade my Daredevil #9 to a 9.6.
Very nice. Very nice.
The
MCU is going to have a lot of fun with that go.
9.8s. I like 9.6s over 9.8s. I know people would, I'd love to get those 9.8s when I open the box. Don't get me wrong. But for half the price, if I can get a book that's, if the grader is in a better mood, would be a 9.8. It's the same book. It presents just as nicely, and I save half the money. I can get more books.
Sometimes it's a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially if it's a black background. I was really, really hoping that we'd see this character. Well, I'm going to try not to do any spoilers of Boba Fett. But by what I just said, I kind of spoiled a little bit. If you were looking for a certain character, this character does not appear. Is that a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's lots of people who don't appear. I don't
Okay.
appear in that book in Darth in it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I don't
oh
have a
yeah.
comic book with you in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't know
yes,
that.
Yes. I may
I
get
could have
one.
been a life model for a BT-0. You don't know.
I think she deserves her own series. She doesn't need to
Oh.
show up in The Mandalorian or Boba
Well,
Fett.
but she could show up with
Just-
somebody's just to be teased and then
Yeah.
go off on her own thing. But
I
Yeah,
was hoping
they
to
can
see her
start
like in
fresh.
the end credits or something, but
I would say where she belongs actually is more to come up in the Obi-Wan because the time period which that's going to be is during her peak activity
Vader's
is in
alive
the-
and well.
is in that time, right? And we've seen her on Tatooine doing that whole bit when they were in the comics when they were looking when Vader was looking into who the hell was this kid who was responsible for blowing up Death Star before he knew it was Luke that did it. So I could see it potentially if she's going to show up being a character that shows up teased or in the background or something in that potentially to then spin that off. But I too would love a Dr. Aphra series.
I also think with that same time frame and with the you just said the name of the series. Obi-Wan series.
Obi-Wan?
Yeah, thank you. I'm bad with names, I'm good with numbers. I think that same time frame may also incorporate the other character that we just saw in Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So,
The name that we can't pronounce because it's Wookiee.
Oh, no, I don't mean Chrysanthemum. I mean the other person that we just saw in Boba Fett.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No.
Okay. So the book that I did trade, I mentioned before, and got was FF number 9.
Oh,
and I absolutely love that cover. I couldn't breathe when I saw it, and I said, I don't care if it's worth less than what I'm trading. I want that book.
I love this book for nothing else. I love the classic, almost borderline golden age representation of Submariner.
Yes, yes.
And you get that on these early FFs that by the time you get to the Silver Age Submariner line, he's changed enough that he's no longer that original classic design.
Exactly, you get it. So this book has gone up. The other two went down. I didn't care so much about the value. When I got home from the show that day, it was irking me that I traded this much in value to get this much of a book. And I pulled the book out and went, I don't care. I love this book.
Yeah.
So this is why I do this, to get these kind of books. These are my end games. You know. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 3 that we talked about earlier. This was I purchased this one as a graded book before it exploded, and I'm glad I did. Something is killing the children. Number 1. And it's not the foil. That's a regular.
I've heard something about this series, but
it has potential. It has potential. It's I've
Love
got
it.
the Frozen, I've got the J. Lee, I've got this. I sold the foil, and now I feel bad. I want to go buy the foil again. So I have and I did get these. Something is grilling the chicken. Someone is grilling the chicken. I'm
me.
thinking about sending that in for grading. That's up there somewhere. Oh, there.
Something is grilled.
Wait.
Yeah,
I'm
I
bad
see
at
it,
doing
right
this.
yeah, see it.
yeah, that's the book I'm in.
I am horrible at trying.
Who do you
to
think's growing the chicken? I do barbecue videos as well. It's me.
So let's see. Which ones do I got? Okay. This one is mine. The last two involve the missus. So when Scarlet Vision, WandaVision came out, everybody was preaching Mephisto. I didn't believe in it. Thank God I was right, because a lot of people, I think, overpaid. But when Hawkeye came out, I was so absolutely sure that I was right. I had to go get an ASM 50.
Nice.
And I did know what number I bought and was in my mailbox. I'm just throwing that out there.
Touche.
It's only a 4.0, but it's a white page, and it does present really nicely. So I could tell what the person's name is that bought it when they were young.
Nice.
And I'm so glad that I got this. I picked up 2 copies of 51, one graded, one raw. I'm getting ready to submit that one in. And I would love to do the 1 through 100 of Spider-Man. I don't know if I can afford it, but
Well, it's
looking
a
forward to
goal.
when you complete the collection. I would love to see the video that you make when you do, like, air it all
Yeah,
out.
and I'm slabbing every single one of them.
Wow.
That's
I was
I just my 50 just came back and it was only a 2.5, but that's because I had to pull. I was forced to pulling the trigger on it, and it was I bought mine the day he was revealed on Hawkeye. I was like, oh,
right.
I can't wait anymore. I have to pull the trigger right now before all these people pull their eBay listings and whatnot. And
Yeah.
fortunately, found somebody that had one that was based on condition and price they were asking was at a fair value.
Right. I was just happy that my number didn't have a comma in it, barely. You know?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Exactly.
But I mean,
My marathon won't be completed until my kids are done with college, probably. Once I free up 20,000 plus some semester,
I always try to tell people that you're not going to get every book. You know, there are some books that you're just going to miss out on, and there's other books that you're going to buy, and they're going to shoot up in price. You're going to be one of the people that does have it. The books that you miss out on, okay, just it happens. You know, don't get upset about it.
Well, that's where you got to be focused.
Yeah, I mean,
And
everybody
not worry
says
about FOMO.
People go out and they buy every single first issue of an independent. You know, if you did not do that, and if you put the money in a piggy bank, and then every year say what was the hottest book, you'd have more money in the piggy bank to go out and to buy the 9.8 in that book and have some left over, and not have a whole box full of books that nobody wants anymore.
Maybe good idea, good strategy.
So I don't live it. I buy the books every week myself.
It's content. It's double purposed.
So that very first show, when I submitted to CBCS, one of the books that I submitted was a Clone Wars #1. And that was right when they had announced that Rosario Dawson had signed on. And my wife did not know what I was spending on comics at the time. So I finished submitting. I went to my friend's booth, Shane, and I asked him, how's it going? He said, oh, it's good. I just wish I had more Clone Wars #1. I could sell them as fast as I could get them. I said, I just submitted one. He said, well, how much did you pay for it? I said, $3.94. And my wife gave me that. What on a what? And I could see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm thinking, I'm dead. And Shane saved my life. He said, go pull it back out of submission. I'll give you double that right now. He slowly put it ahead by like, maybe he knows what he's talking about. I'll kill him later. So it came back a 9.4, which I was very happy with. And at a show a few months ago, I sold that book. My wife was there and she saw the guy walking away with it. She looked at me, you sold the Clone Wars? I said, yeah, I sold it for more than double what I paid for it. She said, oh. I said, did you want me to keep it? She said, yeah. I said, you wanted to kill me when I bought it. She said, yeah, but now it's nostalgic. So, yeah. So I had a 9.4 CBCS Clone Wars #1. I added $200 to what I sold it for, and I got a 9.6 CGC.
Nice.
Terrific.
And when it came in, and my wife was there while I was recording the video. I said, I got this book back. She said, oh, good. And I told her the price, which was well over $1,000. And she went, oh, okay. I'm like, good. I'm not in trouble.
There's a few books that when I've been asked about, because sometimes my wife is in the other room, I have to write it down on a piece of paper. And
well,
I think that's the game we all play at times.
The last book that I have to show that, and then
sorry.
sorry.
No,
I couldn't read that.
I improved this off of the solo thing, but no, go ahead. I get the look.
Just from looking at some books.
Yeah, and I don't get the look from my wife for looking at girls, but if I look at a book at a certain price, I get that look. Yeah.
My wife is interested, at least because there are probably 5 long boxes in my garage that belong to my wife from the 90s. So I'm fortunate to have married a geek. She's just not into comic books anymore, but she loves to go through and look at my slabs, and probably just knows better not to ask questions.
Well, one of
Don't
the
ask the questions you don't want to know the answers to.
one of the best books that's actually in our collection, I have to say our collection, is actually hers. I got it in a raw, cleaned it, pressed it, sent it in for the walkthrough service, and gave it to her live on a video. And she had
Drum
a
roll.
rotten day. And I got her a Marvel Spotlight.
Wow.
First appearance of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
the last show that I did, I actually had it up just as eye candy. That was the book everybody was asking for. And my wife's like, not for sale. It's not for sale. I said, if somebody offers you 3 times its value and you could buy a higher grade, she goes, I don't care. It's not for sale. I'm like, it's her book. It legitimately is her book.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to talk about real quickly 2 books that I'm going to be giving away when I hit subscriber tiers.
Sure.
And then the book that I'd like to give on your show, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. My Mad Spidey, though, says he wants that book.
Well, the what do you call it? I laid out my books for subscriber tiers a while back before I knew if they were going to blow up or not. And this has been stated as my 750 subscriber for a long time.
Yeah, I do remember seeing this video laid out, and I thought to myself, when you did it, man, here's a man who's calling his shots. Because it was like back at like 300, and you were announcing when I get to 400, 500, 700.
Yep.
Damn.
I even have the post-it on the back that I wrote that day, 750 subs.
Yep.
What happened was I had a 9.2 white page, and I bought a beautiful copy. I said, this could be my upgrade. So I submitted it. It came back a 9.2 white page. I'm like, okay, I have 2. One of them is going to be a sub video book giveaway. And when I saw the news break the other day, I'm like, this book is skyrocketing. I don't care. I'm still giving it away. It didn't cost me. It didn't change how much I paid for it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And just going to make it that much bigger of a prize when you get there.
And I think it was Sharp for Comics that actually said that I should switch my 750 and 1,000 subscriber giveaways because the 750 is now worth more. But it's not what I stated. It'd be kind of like false advertising for me.
So you got to get to 750 anyways before you can worry about 1,000. So
yeah, 1,000. Do I get?
At least that's what they tell me.
1,000. Do I get a little placard to put behind me, or no? That's 100,000 or something crazy.
Always have balloon drop.
Well, I'm hoping that when Spider-Verse happens and everything else like that, the 1,000 subscriber video book will also go up in value. It's an ultimate format for Pacelli in a 9.6. I mean, it's not a slouch book, in my opinion. But I was able to get, a couple of copies, and I wanted to give this away. That's a major milestone, 1,000 subscribers. And I think this is the best copy print of that. I think the original, the first print and the second print or whatever are okay. I like the Pacelli the best. I wish that was the cover A. I just think it's, really the book itself, I think, is the best artwork of that run. So, and this actually represents the first book that I'm giving away on a live stream. If anybody wants a haha number 1 in a 9.8 white page.
Phenomenal.
I would maybe participating in this.
We're happy to take your virginity on this.
Yes.
I would love for you to pull one of your subscriber or one of the people watching the show and continental US/Canada, please.
Yeah, always make sure you got to classify what you want to do, what you're going to do as far as shipping goes.
Right. I know I have one of my watchers, Tiago. Enter. I got you. So
and I know Mad Spidey's in Australia, so he knows I always usually will work something out if he happens to win. I don't know if he actually participates, but
I think Australia's like
Taylor,
shipping, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'm getting ready to ship a box to him anyway. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's bring this up here. So first, let's
hang on before you do it. Mad Spidey, you said you're sending a box to Mad Spidey.
I am.
Mad Spidey, enter this. If for some reason, somehow you win, I'll send this book to you, and you just throw it in the box, if that's okay.
Sure.
And I'll chip in for the shipping.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Fair.
Great.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and we'll do the AHA book first, or HaHa book. I'm a aha. Dream on me. No. All right. Haha.
Dream
Go
on
ahead.
me.
Go ahead and hit hashtag Ohana, and we'll go ahead and do our pull first for the slab book there, donated by Rich at Ohana Comics. While we're waiting, don't forget, of course, you see it rolling across the screen. Ohana Comics on YouTube. Help him get past that 600 subscriber count. Follow him on IG. While you're at it, of course, Chris the Comic Vet coming up on his 600. I'm approaching 700. You're here. You're probably already subscribed to me, but if you're not, please, maybe, thank you, even. Oh yeah, and don't forget Shop for Comics, guys. His mystery box still going on. He's got 4 boxes left. As of when I just looked, they're $45 each. And that's, I think that's shipped. I didn't see a separate price for shipping. I don't know. You'll have to, if I'm not right on that one, Shop, make sure you message here that no, it's plus shipping. But I'm double checking the thread as I'm looking at it right now. $45 shipped is what it says. Yep. 17 comics in each box, minors, keys, signed books, silver to modern, $45 shipped, payable by PayPal. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out Shop the number 4 comics. There you see him here in the thread, and check out one of his mystery boxes. Let me go back to here where we're at. There you go. I forgot was doing that whole window. All right, let's see. We got 24 out of 27 entries, so I'll give you guys 10 more seconds. See, I got Batman. I paid $45 for it, and it's being shipped. There you go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're out of time. All right, we spin in the wheel, and the winner of the 9.8 graded Haha Comics is the Comic Vet. Look at that. Hashtag rigged it.
Oh, I can see Taylor now. All right. Hey, I said I was going to participate.
That's right.
Right.
No, congratulations.
Hey,
all
now
right,
you'll
there you go,
finally have
Chris.
A slab to put on your wall behind you.
Yeah.
oh yeah, like that's no. Don't let's not go down that road. He's got plenty. All right.
Well, just shoot me your address on Instagram, and I'll get this out to you first thing on Monday.
Terrific.
Congratulations.
All right,
Thanks, man. Thanks for putting it up there.
Let me go back in here and pull Ohana Comics, and this time we're gonna do. Rich, you got anything you want to do with give us a hashtag for?
Okay, that's a little bit too computer jargon. I'm too an older man to know what that means.
The comment that people have to put in the hashtag in something like I did the
okay. No, I don't know.
Hashtag family.
I got nothing. Got it.
I mean, you blew me away with the stickers greater than Squirtle.
What did you say, Chris?
That's the hashtag family because Ohana means family.
There you go. Correct? There you go. All right. So let's go ahead, and this is for the next 6 book pull, minimum 6 books. Poopy doopy.
And everyone, I never participate in these. It was just when the guest does something, I'll participate.
Coming up this week, again for me, tonight, later on tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Chris and I will be appearing on Karate Kevin's Superpower Review channel for What's That Comic. Then I'll be popping on probably over on the Banter channel with Chip Getler this evening. Sunday I'll be on Old Man Collectibles channel. Oh no, we have a break this week. No, I won't be there this week. So Monday's mail call. I got a stack of shit. There's a bunch of boxes, and I got boxes already stacked up for next week. It's crazy. And then Tuesday I have Sidekicks Talk Comics. We'll be talking about the Incredible Hulk. This week we got a panel of guests, Beckerman and DJ Links and Mark the Comic Vet will be coming on as we spend a half hour or so talking about the Incredible Hulk.
I'm the Comic Vet. Mark is Legion of Comics.
Did I
You said Mark the Comic Vet.
Oh, well. You're
That's
one and the same
okay.
person. Aren't you guys like married now or something? Anyways,
Oh,
practically.
he
Yeah.
refers to it that way, so it's okay.
Sure. All right. Fair enough. So yeah, you're right. Mark from Legion of Comics. I apologize. And then of course we'll be back to doing Slab Hub next Saturday with Man Cave Comics. All
I'll
right,
be
let's
there.
go ahead and hit this. We spin the wheel, and our winner is Taylor Winder.
Oh,
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Rigged himself.
That's right. I'm going to be sending him some books to include in one of his next unboxing matches. If you guys haven't checked that show out, check out Taylor Winder. He's got a show called he's got lots of shows, lots of reviews. If you like reviews from a person who doesn't like comics, or at least the comics he reads, Taylor Winder's your man. And if you want to check out, he's got a show called Unboxing Match he just started, where each week he exchanges mystery boxes with somebody with a basic set value, and they just build a box themselves specifically for each other and trade them and open them against each other, as well as get to know each other and chat. It's a fun show. I'll be coming up not this week, but the week after that. This week, I think he's got the promiscuous time traveler Kyle on the show. All right, Chris, what are we doing
All
here?
right. No pressure, right? Because we're talking about the guy that doesn't like any damn comic book. So now I'm the one that has to. Okay.
This doesn't matter. He's
All
not going to
right.
like anything you pull, so it doesn't matter.
All right. All right. Let's go lucky 7 from the front.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least he knows that the punchline is not in here.
Right.
Okay. So we have. Oh, this is a bonus. You get a Slab Hub mug.
Oh, all right. We're off to a good
Good.
start then.
So
what
this
is that
is-
book?
So this is Bleakhaven. It is issues 1 and 2 all in one book. It was a it's a book starring the Rogue Trader.
Okay. All right.
So it's a kind of like a self-published Bleakhaven book, kind of first edition, issues 1 and 2 in there, and you get yourself a Slab Hub mug. Congratulations, there, Taylor. The
Oh my
first
God.
winner.
Like.
All right, fine. You don't get a mug.
I'll take it.
Chris,
Wait,
you
is
already
it a
have a mug
slab?
coming your way.
Okay, is it a slab hug mug? Like Taylor, which mug?
Yeah,
do you
Taylor,
have?
did I
He's
get you
got
the
a pair.
Slab Hub mug?
Like he's got 2 different ones.
I don't think you have the Slab Hub mug. Maybe you do. Anyways, all right. Next, what are we pulling from next?
7 from the rear.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets the Spider-Man freebie, free day,
All right.
comic day, with an extra bonus pull.
All right.
So-
no pressure. No pressure.
Let's just go back and forth here for his bonus pull.
now.
Kids, number 1.
All right, so we got a Goonies homage. Nice.
All right, so that is 2 books.
Let's take it easy on the Canada stuff, everybody. Okay.
What are we doing?
They're all blaming Canada. Okay, let's go number 2 from the front.
Batman 224.
Very cool. I believe I have that
Nice
book
cover.
signed by Neil Adams. Nice.
15-cent Batman book.
All right.
Okay, it's 3.
2 from the rear.
Eros Psyche. Bonus pull.
Man, oh man. No pressure. All right. Front to back. For the bonus now.
Star Wars The High Republic, issue number 2. One of those exclusive variants. I don't even know how much Tyler's a huge fan of those. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got 4 that are actual full books. Okay.
Okay. Front to back.
Number 2
Now.
G.I. Joe number 54.
Very cool.
Congratulations.
Look at that forearm. That's some sexy forearm right there. Okay.
I believe, oh, you know what? Oh, I gotta double make sure because I can't remember. That was a.
Now look at that sexy forearm, everybody.
Okay, yeah, so one more book.
One more. Okay, let's go back to front.
Oh.
Now, right in the middle.
Fantastic Four, number 30, right? 36. And it's another damn Slab Hub mug. You're gonna be able to serve some friends, buddy.
Be a two-fisted drinker.
He's gonna have a coffee party going on. Everybody can go over to Taylor's house for some coffee, and yeah, there you go.
All right.
So Taylor, congratulations! You got some books that I'm sure you really aren't too thrilled about, but that's okay. You got 2 mugs.
Maybe that arrows.
So now you can have a friend over for coffee and serve them in a matched set.
Here's the part where he would say, "I would never bring any friends into my home. I don't like people that much, and I live in Wisconsin." So,
well, that's where we say, like, you
and
have
then he would fix his hair. Okay,
don't be a dick.
It's all fine. It's fine.
So that, if nothing else, proves that there were mugs in there. Now I have to go through them all. I have to see if there's more mugs in there. If not, put some in because I do have additional mugs that are in house ready to go. So
this was a good episode. This was really good.
Yeah, it was good times. Absolutely, Rich. Thanks very much for coming on.
No, thank you so much for having me. This was a blast. I would love to do it again anytime you wanted.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We'll definitely talk to you about that because we do encourage guests coming on again if they enjoyed their experience, if we were gentle enough and didn't violate you too hard. And then we are booking guests out now for May. So for you or for anyone in the audience who's interested in becoming a member, a guest on Slab Hub, again, we're booking for May going forward, but you can reach out to me on Instagram or at robs.fatstacks@gmail.com, and we will see about getting you set up to be a guest on Slab Hub. Everybody, thank you very much for coming out. I know this ran a little bit longer than usual, but that's okay. We had fun, and that's what's important. Comics brought us together, and comics make us family. And Rich, Ohana Comics, again, make sure to give them a follow. Next week, everybody, don't forget, we have Man Cave Comics coming up next week on Slab Hub. Chris and I will be tonight. Lots of stuff. Follow everybody. Links down below. And until next time, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including myself, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching, guys.
Slab Hub.